It's not a warm-up. This episode of Obscure Chatter is brought to you by penguins. Penguins, they're all dressed up with nowhere to go. You know, because of climate change. And now, on to the episode. Welcome to another episode of Obscure Chatter. I am your host, Terri Doty. If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if it isn't, welcome back. Welcome back. We're all for getting real in our sponsorships. I literally forgot to do a sponsorship. And so it was this morning. I looked at Steven. I'm like, what's the sponsor? And he's like, And then he looked to the very unfinished crochet project I have and said, penguins. I'm supposed to have already finished Pierre the Penguin. And I haven't. I got really close my first day on the crochet job. And then I got lost. And then I got frustrated. And I'm waiting till I can't possibly be frustrated again to finish Pierre. So basically, I've decided to give it. No, I haven't. I've been watching different crochet videos since then. But yeah, so Pierre the Penguin inspired today's sponsor. Thank you, Pierre. You're the gift that keeps on giving. Although, are you a gift I bought you? Whatever. Oh, hi, hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, night, and other times of day. Whew. So, a whole lot of not good things have happened since we last talked. That seems to kind of be the theme. Not a fan. It's sad, and a lot of other things that aren't sadness, but as I get older, I know that there can be a tendency to become cynical, or be more cynical in my case. And I highly doubt that's why I feel like pretty much 98% of things are fuck awful. I think that's just being observant. Job market sucks. Ice sucks. A bloated orange baby sucks. A whole mess of stuff sucks. So you hope for the best, you prepare for the worst, and things. That's always been my thing. Is people used to make fun of me, like, what a fucking bleak perspective is hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I'm like, how is that bleak? I'm hoping for the best, but I live in reality. And I just can't prepare for the shit sandwich that keeps reappearing at the start of the day. And that's not to say I'm eating the shit sandwich. I just can't get rid of it. Maybe some or most feel the same way. So there's that. There's trauma bonding. That's something. Fuck. Starting off strong, I know. Okay, before I go off on another tangent, or, just go out, decide to have a more geared tangent, let's talk about the media like we always do. If you're new here, we like to talk about what we've consumed throughout the month since we last spoke. And, probably ramble about those. So prepare for the best. See? That's positive. Let's take a little drink of water. Take a drink of water out of my little Fuji cup. Or it's not a cup. It's a little tumbler. Oh no, this isn't. This is something Mike McFarlane gave me. It's a different scene. From the same episode, though, that Fuji is first featured in. So there's that. But let's start with music. Music. Oh my gosh, I've been collecting so many new CDs. I'm telling you, Rag and Bone in, I believe, Hearst. I forget if it's Hearst or Bedford. Rag and Bone, owned by an amazing person named Heather. they continue to take a lot of my money, but I willingly give it to them. So there's that. But yeah, I've been buying a lot of stuff. Like last time I was there, I got like some sneaker pimps, the Donnas. I found a Lindsey Sterling in the wild. I've never seen Lindsey Sterling in the wild. What else? Found some Muse. I also got a really nice 9 Inch Nails, but I think I got that in June. Who knows? Again, she's got a lot of my money. I've also started giving Skinny Puppy a fair shake. It's Steven's favorite band. And I have this weird thing about a lot of industrial music. For those who may not know, I am partially deaf in my right ear from being hit by a car when I was 13. I was crossing at not a crosswalk, and pretty much every car except one lane stopped for me, and the other one hit me at like 30 miles an hour. And it was like car, black. And then I woke up to like someone shaking me, being like, wake up. And when I started blinking my eyes open, the person shaking me let me go and then drove away. And then other people kind of circled me, including my locker buddy at the time, because this was junior high. Thank God she was there, because she's like telling the ambulance like all my info. Thank God. Thank you, Chanel Daniels. But all of that to be said, cut to, a few days later, we realized I have a skull fracture, and some liquid in my brain kind of worked its way behind my right ear and fucked up my hearing. I had to do like a couple rounds to like the audiologist, where he made you like, I'm even doing it like as I'm talking, like raising my hand. They're like, raise your hand when you hear the sound, beep, boop, bop. And they found that my hearing in my right ear, they're like, it'll probably go away. It didn't. So I'm partially deaf in this ear. So my equilibrium is occasionally off. And so depending on the mix of certain songs, I can actually get really sick listening to certain things, like very like lightheaded, like not a fan. My brain's like, nope, don't like that. But I found with a couple of songs that Steven would play for me, I'm like, ooh, and I felt bad because, like when it's your like partner's favorite band, you want to be able to vibe with it at least enough to be like, man, they're happy they're listening to their favorite band. But instead I'm like, I gotta go. But I recently got my first set of buds by Beats. And I really like Beats. I got like these Beats Pro Plus, I think. Just with some credit card points that I had. I'm like, man, I've got the AirPods or whatever, but they fall out all the time. And they're not fun. Like whenever you really want to like vibe, dance, or work out, like they're going to fall out every 2 seconds. And I also have close-end ones, but those are very limiting as far as movement. So tried these Beats and then listen to Skinny Puppy. And there's something about the Beats that work out the fucky equilibrium shit. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I found very easy to listen to. So with the Skinny Puppy CDs that I had, just listening to them on my stereo that I also got at Rag & Bone, it's hit or miss, but because I got Beats, I got 3 free months of Apple Music and downloaded a bunch of stuff on Apple Music, including Skinny Puppy, and found specifically the CDs I have. And I'm, oh, hello. Very nice. So I'm getting into Skinny Puppy, y'all. Who knew? Who knew? Oh no, the thing I'm watching is cycling. I don't know if I've run out of internet or it's just going to be a giant wang. Oh no. It's like super, you hear me messing with the remote. Oh, it won't even play now. Well, fuck me gently with a chainsaw. Let's see. We're in real time going to see if we can find something else. Well, fuck y'all, man. That sucks. We're going to put something else on. And it's going to change the tropes that I was going to pick from for the title of this episode. How dare y'all? Yeah, for those that don't know, we tend to pick the title of the episode from tropes tying to the movie. And, oh, no, we have internet. That sucks. C'est la vie. La vie. We like to have fun here. Oh my God, Terry just put on something. Done. Oh my gosh. Just put something on. This is riveting podcasting, I know. Okay, just put it on. I can't believe that. That's never happened on the show. I'm like, wait, it's like, okay, it played. Well, yeah, no, fully going to change what the title is because we were like, what? Half in real time. Like, how far are we into the episode that the movie just fucked up? 10 minutes? That's it? Bullshit. It's some bullshit. Well, don't worry, everybody. I made sure to just immediately break the illusion. That's what I do. It's whatever. That's what I do. Is it what I do? I don't know. It just seems like I'm talking out of my ass. Anyway. Yeah. So Skinny Puppy. Drowning Pool has been fun to revisit. The first album of Drowning Pool. I haven't listened to any of the new stuff since I believe they got a new singer shortly after the lead passed away. The lead singer. Bring Me the Horizons very much become a quick go-to for me. Bjork. I'm giving all of Bjork's albums, including her newer stuff, a shot. I've only listened to, I forget which album, the one that includes Army of Me. Like, that's been a big, like, cycling one. But I haven't really listened to other Bjork. So we're going to try that. Pierce the Veil, I Prevail, The Cars, Childish Gambino. There's just something about it. There's a Childish Gambino song for every mood. And how it's hit or miss with some artists that you can say that. Nancy Sinatra. Yeah, a whole mess of stuff. Plotting You. I've really been obsessed with their Dispose album that came out in 2018, especially Rigged, Feel Nothing, and I forget which other song, but many, many tracks are very, very much have a fan in Murderbot. Yeah. So, man, I'm trying not to be like me. I'm not a big like, oh, hey, so everything just changed. No, whatever. Like, let's just vibe. That, I don't think this shocks anybody that's been a fan of mine for more than 2 seconds. That is not my bag. I really have a huge problem when things don't go according to plan as the plan is being enacted. When I'm not in the driver's seat, it's actually not as big a deal. Like when I'm just like the actor, you know, and like the director is like, oh, fuck, like we just lost power, or like the script is missing, or blah, blah, blah. That's a different vibe than when I am the director and all of that stuff is happening. Like, oh my God, Terry, fix it. So yeah, like listening back to this show will probably be like, oh, Terry, you should have just stopped and started over again or whatever. But no, we're 10 minutes in and you can't replicate the amazing vibe that we were starting off with. We talked about penguins, motherfucker. We vibed. It happened. Live in the now. Okay, so moving from music to television. Yeah, we've been, we might have started Transformers, the 80s cartoon, the 80s version of Transformers. It was really fun to jump from Beast Wars into that, because there is a point where, you know, the Maximals basically find the Autobots and Decepticons as they're, you know, laying dormant in that volcano or whatever, where like the Teletran is and all that. Like, oh, that's kind of cool to like revisit it, like from basically the past. Beast Wars gets a little fucky with like time travel or whatever. And we got through seasons 1 and 2, and I tried to start season 3, but I'm like, okay, I need to revisit the movie because which I have on tape, and I need to. I tried to just go into season 3, and it's like, oh hey, a fuck ton happened, and then I got off on this weird like tangent about like, how did people do this like before like we had access to fucking everything? You know what I mean? Where it's, if you didn't see the movie when it just came out, you're fucked as far as context now that there's a new season. Does that make sense? You know, like, oh yeah, I didn't see the Transformers movie. I'll see it like when it comes to tape or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, what if you just don't see that or have access to movie theater, or your parents make you wait for it to get to tape or whatever the reason is, and you just try to watch season 3 and you're completely lost. You're like, who's this fucking guy? And where the fuck's Optimus? What? Where are the other? Oh, what happened? You know, to where now it's like, oh, okay, I'll just stop. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I got that. I've also been revisiting, since I just finished Daredevil, I've been revisiting Jessica Jones and remembering, again, I've noted this on the show before, my hatred of Patsy Walker. I can't, but I'm really excited that Kristen Ritter's coming back as Jessica Jones, and David Tennant in season 1 is, I think there's something about playing such a despicable human being after playing such an iconic version of the Doctor. That's just wild. I love that he made that choice. It's crazy. Let me see what else. I got a really cool deal on Apple TV Plus where I can get 3 months at $2.99. So I took advantage of that deal and finally watched Severance season 2, which, holy fuck, so good. There were a couple of triggering things that Stephen and I discussed afterward, but it didn't bother me the way I think it could have bothered me a couple of years ago. It was interesting to talk about, like we checked in with each other and everything. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I just really don't want to talk about it right now. But it was interesting for us to talk about like how this could have set us off in a different way just a couple of years ago, and just how there are certain shows that you watch that first season of, and you kind of have to hold that first season dear because it's the following season where the show is aware of itself by then, if that makes sense, where that can kind of destroy it. Looking at you, Stranger Things. The second, like, not that that's the thing with a lot of stuff. Like, that's why I'm like hit or miss on Tarantino and all that stuff. If it's too referential, you've lost me. Just tell me a good fucking story. You don't have to make a reference to something nostalgic every 2 fucking seconds. Or, if you're too aware of like a character's popularity or anything like that. I feel like Severance sidestepped that. And weren't afraid to do some of the shit they did. And my only complaint was like the full Patricia Arquette episode. And that's not because of Patricia Arquette. It's just because that character needs people to play off of. And y'all didn't give her that enough. That's just my personal thing. But no, I can't wait for season 3. Can't wait. But because I got Apple TV Plus, I'm waiting for Foundation to build up on a couple of episodes, but I'm really happy that I can continue the series. It's one of my favorites. Amazing, stacked as fuck cast. Same for Severance. Most Apple TV Plus shows, I feel like Apple TV's been on the like lower end of the radar and just kind of like, I think they had over like 100 Emmy nominations. Just recently, like they're getting their flowers now, but Like, okay, well, don't start showing me ads, please. Please. But another show that Steven and I got into, Murderbot. Murderbot was something that I feel like, aside from an ad that I saw from the YouTube channel, like nobody's talking about it. Alexander Skarsgård plays a robot that fucks with his programming and just still, does his job, but tries to hide the fact that he's not beholden to the programming. And whenever he's not doing stuff, or even when he's doing stuff, he's just watching his soap operas, a soap opera called Sanctuary Moon. And it got Steven into the books. He just finished the first book in the series that the show is based on by Martha Wells. And I might try that. I think it's available in my local public library, so I might give it a shot. What else? I've tried The Bear, season 4. I gotta tell you, I really didn't like season 3. And I think, as I talked about previously, or just a second ago, about shows being too aware of themselves, I don't want The Bear to fall into this category, but I've watched 2 episodes of The Bear, season 4, and I can't right now find the motivation to continue. I don't know. Maybe that's like sacrilege for some people, but I just can't. It's meh right now. I said I wasn't going to get negative. It's me trying to be cautiously optimistic. I'm hoping that I get there at some point, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And now we're on to movies. I read this book that was very, very cute. And I saw that Apple TV Plus had a movie. It's like a 30-minute movie called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And, Steven and I have been trying to watch cartoons in the morning. So a couple weeks ago, we just put that on. And it's a sappy little sweet piece, just like the book. But it was a nice little chill morning watch. Great voice acting and beautiful animation. Follows the style of the book, even including the writing. So yeah. Let's see. July 3rd, Steven and I watch Return of the Living Dead every July 3rd. And so popped in the VHS that I have of it, which is the optimal way to watch Return of the Living Dead. The 1985 Return of the Living Dead. Great. Steven and I reference it all the time. If you've never seen any of the Night of the Living Deads or anything like that, you don't need to. It's not a continuation or anything like that. It's not afraid to be cheese, but there's some great character development, great costumes, and oh my God, the effects, the practical effects, all that stuff. I love this movie. And it takes place on July 3rd and the morning of July 4th. So give it a watch if you've never watched it, but we watch it once a year. And it's not something we always did. It's just the past few years. Give it a shot. And if you can only find it digitally, you have my blessing to watch it digitally. But know that it needs that graininess that only tape can do. You know what I mean? We rewatched The Menu, which I hadn't done in a while. And God, it just hit differently because there are things you don't know going in that watching it again, you're like, oh shit, this. But at the end, if you've never seen The Menu, sorry for the, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I know I do that sometimes. The Menu makes an amazing looking cheeseburger. Steven found the recipe, and last night he made The Menu's cheeseburger. There are so many people that have analyzed that movie for how Ralph Fiennes' character does his cheeseburger. I forget the character's name. But it's so good. So we found like the recipe for that, and he serves it with crinkle cut fries. Just got some quick and dirty, like simple basic bitch fries, put them in the convection oven. Boom, so crispy, delicioso. Don't even need ketchup, which might be sacrilegious to people, but whatever. Yeah. And then there have been a few movies where I remember these as a kid and Steven never saw them. And one of them is Stay Tuned, which some of you may remember. It had John Ritter in it. Just so y'all know, Jeffrey Jones is also in it. And he is, for a lot of very real reasons, but he plays like, an underling, in hell. So you can watch it going, I mean, it's not a pretty portrayal. So there's that. But it's funny. It's aware of itself. Like there's a whole point where he's on like the Three's Company set. So I love this movie. Steven had never seen it. And he laughed at like all the fake TV shows on there. Oh my God. So good. Try it. My favorite Tom Hanks movie, Joe versus a Volcano. Steven finally watched it. And we had like a giant discussion about it afterward, about the symbolism, about the different Meg Ryans. Because Meg Ryan, well, technically Meg Ryan plays 4 people. She plays 3 women, 2 of which are sisters, half sisters. And you hear her over like on the airplane, you hear like a flight attendant talking, and that's Meg too. But the different Megs and what that symbolizes, all this stuff, like it holds up. It holds up very well, like disturbingly well, if you watch it like right now. And I think the last one that wasn't like a new or like an old rewatch. Like I know I talk about rewatches rarely, but one that was new to me, but not, or new to Steven, but not to me. It was With Honors. We watched that last night with Brendan Fraser, which it is Fraser, not Frasier. Joe Pesci and Patrick Dempsey and oh my God, I forget the actress's name. She was in Cutting Edge, I believe, which is another movie Steven hasn't seen. It's good. It's been a minute since I've watched it, but I remember D.B. Sweeney. That was during a really weird D.B. Sweeney obsession until I saw A Fire in the Sky. That cut that shit off immediately. Thinking of the right actor, I hope. Anyways, yeah, With Honors. Steven hadn't seen it, and it was on Tubi, I believe. But yeah, really good movie that I watched as a kid, but watching it as an adult, it hit differently. In a way that I couldn't have expected. But man, I watched a lot more movies than Steven, and Steven is 6.5 years older than me. A lot more movies than him when I was a kid. And I'm like, man, I don't want to overanalyze that, but I was alone a lot. Latchkey kid realness. Woo! And then we are on to our final bit of media. Books. Don't you love books? Books are great. Audio, digital, print, whatever way that you consume, it's valid, okay? So don't let anyone tell you that the audiobooks you're listening to isn't real reading. They all activate the same parts of the brain. Tell them to quit being a dick. Say, Terri Doty told me to tell you that you're being a dick. And they'll be like, Terri Doty? The nail tech? No, the voice actor. You smug bastard. Yeah. But reading, getting back to it, I checked out Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, which I was in the middle of reading during the last episode. And I wouldn't shut up about it. Like anytime I like had a break from reading, I would tell Steven, I'm like, oh, this. Or like, Steven, this happened. It was a bittersweet ending for me, which didn't let me give it 5 stars, but I loved it. I found a signed copy on eBay for not a stupid amount of money and immediately bought it with my book budget money, and happy I have it. vampire stories are hit or miss. And I really like what she did with V. Schwab. Like, she wrote one of my favorite books, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And I really liked her, oh my God, like Dark Soul series. I forget. It's a duet. I forget the names of the books. But and there are books of hers that I haven't vibed with. But sometimes not her fault. Again, I've talked about this before. Ex-best friend really loved certain books of hers, and those have ruined those books for me. And that's not even ex-best friend's fault, you know, like relationships end, and sometimes that affects the way we view certain things. It's just the way it is. Like, but yeah, I really like the storytelling. I was hit or miss on a bit of like the jumps between characters, but I mean, end of the day, I bought it. I'm glad it's on my shelf, so I'll shut the hell up. Yeah. I revisited the Caraval series and the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. That's a favorite author of mine as well. And I just got the special edition that Barnes & Noble just released of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I guess technically it's YA, but they handle a bunch of insane shit. Fantasy setting. You might like it. But and I think I've talked about it before, but I really like those books, especially the Once Upon a Broken Heart. Caraval, I liked better on a second, or this, not second pass, but this last revisit, I liked it a lot more than the first one. And it's not just because there are characters that were introduced in that series that, you know, carry over to the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I mean, it's a big reason, but not the biggest. Maybe the biggest, who knows? I'd read a Leah Lewis book, or a Leah Lewis. I don't know. It's probably Leah Lewis book, I think in June. And I read another one called Dear Emmy Blue. That was a very clean little romance read. Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers. I don't know how to say that last name, but I like it. Lefevers. I don't know. Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I really liked this book. It was morbidly sweet. You know, someone who can see ghosts. Family runs a funeral home. Guy that she made out with is a ghost now. Her dad's passed away. He's not a ghost. Why? Or is he a ghost? I don't know. But very cute read. Ashley Poston has been hit or miss for me, but I really like this one. Or Poston. I'm ruining your last name, and I'm sorry. I know Ashley is listening to this right now. Like, what the fuck, Terri? I wish you were Terri Doty, the nail tech. What else? Read Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. I hyped that one up to a friend who was like, yeah, I haven't really like gotten into like smutty books yet. And I'm like, well, I just read this. So yeah, for those who don't know, it's excellent world building, dual POV, point of view. I said POV. But yeah, who doesn't want to read a good Minotaur book? Or Minotaur. I say Minotaur, whatever. It's actually really, really good. And there's a second book in the series coming out in a couple of weeks, I think. Maybe next month. I don't remember. But not next month. It's in August. Oh my God. I'm already thinking it's August, y'all. Oh, maybe I'm thinking September. But yeah. And then the last new read of this month, or this whatever world we're in, Small Favors by Aaron A. Craig. And it's kind of a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. Kind of not. Great world building. Like, I liked it a lot, but it did make me incredibly anxious. But that's, you know, when you're reading something new, it's just going to happen sometimes, y'all. And that's it for media. I hope that some of y'all check out I hope all of y'all check out the stuff that we've talked about. And if you haven't, how dare you? You think I just like talking about the things that I've read and watched? Because I do. Yeah. I've obviously just been trying to keep my brain happy with some good stuff. Mostly good stuff. I try not to talk about the stinkers. I honestly try not to vent about them. Sometimes I'm actually actively trying to not talk. I'm confusing myself. Woo! Oh, fuck me. Okay, so I made this whole thing. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Y'all are gonna hear me get a little annoyed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, how do I cover this? I talked for a good 2 minutes into like topics and ProTools just died. So I've had to change the movie I'm watching and pick up in the middle of an episode, which it has happened before. There has been a whole episode that ProTools just didn't record. It just didn't fucking record. It showed me it was recording, and when Steven hit the space bar to stop recording, it just completely shat itself, and I literally started over. So I don't know what the fuck is going on today, what kind of energy vampire is around or some shit, but like that just, oh my God. I said that I don't like change when it's happening. I mean, I don't know who the fuck does. Like, who does? But oh my God, like, yeah, I had a little fucking hissy fit, and I'm like coming off the tail end of it because there's actually no reason it should have shat. There's no reason it should have shat itself at all. And since Pro Tools did this fun little update, it's happened pretty fucking often. Pretty much since they became a subscription only service where you used to, with everything, you used to just buy something and it was yours. Do you remember that? Like, but now I have to subscribe once a month and pay once a month or once a year. I forget how we're fucking doing it, to Pro Tools for like the use of like a minimal amount of tracks. That's another thing that's relatively new that I could just cut a bitch over. It's capitalism at its finest, baby. Everything's fine here. Just give me money. Keep giving me money. Don't just buy something once. Keep fucking buying it. Prove to me that you're really, really enjoying this product by continuing to give me fucking money. I'm dealing with that. I'm also dealing with Microsoft Word, which again, you remember when you could just fucking buy Microsoft Office? No, I have to do a subscription for it. Oh my God. I wasn't planning on doing this. And you know what? But I also wasn't planning on starting another movie 10 minutes in. And I wasn't planning on trying to pick up in the middle of an episode. I was like, for a split second, it's like, do I just start over? But Steven, can you tell me roughly how long we got into the episode before it shat on itself? About 35 minutes. So it shat on itself shortly after we finished talking about media. Yeah, like the woo or whatever that you may or may not hear. Maybe I've cut it. Who knows? I've cut it. Steven's cut it. But motherfucker, like there's something, again, like I talked about when the movie shut on itself. There's a flow that happens. I try to stay upbeat. I know if you're a long-time listener, there are episodes where it just sounds like I am the motivation for every droopy dog comic, cartoon, whatever in the fucking world. And just, but that is not what I want to do right now. I don't want to listen to that. So I assume you guys don't want to listen to that either. But motherfucker, Fucking do your one fucking function, you fuck. Ugh. So this is me just not pretending like nothing happened. And you're welcome, and I'm sorry. What I was talking about before was fucking crocheting, you fucks. Oh, God. Just trying to talk about how I'm actively trying to keep my brain happy. It's not a consistent thing, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. But anyways, fucking crocheting. As I said previously, it's been hit or miss. I have given a couple of woobles away. I got a couple woobles for some other amazing people that you might know from their voiceover work, like Sarah Wiedenheft and Jill Harris. Sarah, I got one for her birthday, and Jill, I got as a little end of show gift, which I don't do that often. I think the last time I did an end of show gift was recovery of an MMO junkie. I gave Clifford a little cat clock that was similar to the one Moriko had. And I got to tell you, now that CNG Family Children is done, I have no news about a possible second season. None whatsoever. They tell me nothing. But what I was cast, most of us were cast, or all of us, I don't know the behind the scenes, with Jade Saxton, the amazing Jade Saxton. And at the last minute, things changed and Jade could no longer direct the show. So we were given the gift of working with Jill Harris. And Jill, I didn't even know was directing, but I'd known her. We'd passed each other. Friendly enough, but I just didn't know Jill that well. And I am very grateful for the work, but I'm also very grateful for the opportunity that I had to get to know her better. We talked about the weirdest stuff during those recording sessions. I'm a talker in session. We talked about obviously the show, and she gave me some really great directions, and let me play. But also we talked about like the dumbest stuff imaginable. We also talked about like historical romance novels and, all sorts of stuff. She's really cool. So I wanted to make sure to give her a little end of show gift. And I felt bad because, we didn't have a consistent recording engineer. All the recording engineers there, are phenomenal, but, I guess I wasn't used to not having like a staple engineer. So I'm like, typically I would give my engineer an end of show gift as well, but it felt weird because I couldn't guess who was going to be there for my last session. And it was an engineer that I'd never worked with before. So I gave them Nickelback playing cards. So I'm sure they were like, holy crap, I can't believe this. My collection of Nickelback memorabilia is finally complete. Thank you. But yeah. And then Wiedenhoff's birthday, I'm so glad that I basically just carried her wooble around in the hopes that I would see her. And she wasn't there as I was carrying it around, but her dude was. So I made her dude walk around with a wooble kit, being like, don't you lose that. And he's like taking a photo of it, sending it to her to kind of like make himself remember not to lose that while he was recording all day. I'm like, hey, he's like, you just had this with you? I'm like, I just assumed I would run into her. Sorry about that. But yes, recording on CNG Family Children is wrapped up. Got a lot of great attention for that. I'm happy for that. Like even up at the studio, people are like, hey, you're sounding good. I think it's just not a character I play all that often. So it was nice to get some good feedback. I would love also more work since I shocked all the shit out of you people. So yeah, if y'all want to just keep casting me as shy, adorable babies, that's fine, because work is fun. Work is good. And also, yeah, it had been a while since I'd been up there for like a consistent recording schedule. So I got to see people that I really don't get to see that often. Like I got to run into like Rob McCullum, who I hadn't seen in ages. I saw Wendy Powell the other day, which I hadn't seen her, I think, since I did a con with her before the lockdown. And we got to catch up and, good times. But I've also met a lot of great newer talents. Like I got to vibe with Monica Flatley. They were there recording something. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. I think I am, but I'm just going to play it safe. And we got to vibe. We were talking about just energy and also got to geek out with them because they're doing amazing work up there as well. So yeah. And then recording on new stuff. I have recorded a few things outside of anime that I still can't talk about. A few other things have popped up here and there that have potential, and who knows, those might pan out. And then did this really weird realization where when I get auditions, I typically just record them at home, send them off. But what I used to do, and this really was when I got to physically go to the auditions, which for voiceover work, so many of us were like, please just let us send you something from home. Not bitching. If you want me to drive to a place to audition, I'll fucking do it. Just make sure you're not in a scary area, because I'm always worried about parking. But one thing I used to do, I guess exclusively when I would drive to places for auditions, is I would give myself a little audition celebration, a little audition gift, like, oh, hey, I'm going to get myself lunch. That's being like, hey, thanks, Terry. Thanks, Terry, for trying. Or, I'm going to get myself this little strawberry keychain, which I just pulled out of the ether, but I guess I need a strawberry keychain now. But I stopped doing that. And so I just recently started that back up. I got myself some pizza, which I'd given up on dairy, and now I just do dairy very sparingly, and I don't really keep it in the house. I'm saying that knowing full well, y'all remember I mentioned cheeseburgers. There is American cheese in my house. And that's all I want to say on that. But it's not really cheese, so there. Ha! But one thing I did, I was at Horror Freak in Bedford. I believe it's Bedford. It's a really cool shop. I'm a regular there. If you go there, stop by. And be sure, or if you go there, stop by. If you go there, make sure to say hi to Eric for me. And you might see a little Fuchi Funko Pop near the register. That is from moi, and it is signed. It's one of the few Fuchis signed by moi. But I was there, and I saw a Raphael figure, from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my God. It's Raphael as the creature from Frankenstein. What? And Steven's like, what's that behind him? And it's April O'Neil as the Bride of Frankenstein. And so I'm like, yeah, April's hit or miss. But then there was also Leonardo to the side as the Hunchback. Oh my God, what? And I looked it up online, holy shit. I had no idea this was a thing. Yeah, they've got other ones oh my God, Michelangelo as the Mummy. And I forget what Donatello is. He might be a creature from the Black Lagoon. But I looked it up and I got in my head. I'm like, oh, maybe I don't know. I went home and then I did an audition the next day. I'm like, all right, boom, and got one. I got a Raphael. I don't care about anyone else in that collection, but I got the Raphael. I haven't opened him yet because I don't know where to place him. I have a lot of Frankenstein's monster, Bride of Frankenstein stuff. And I like to kind of keep it all together, but maybe I should spread it out. I used to have a bunch of Ninja Turtles figures, especially like the robot Ninja Turtle and stuff like that. And I don't know where any of that stuff is now. Who knows? But celebrate the small victories, even if it is, hey, I sent that fucking audition in. If I don't get cast, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's also important to remember the second that audition is done, try to forget it. Don't dwell. Be like, oh, I hope I hear back. Be like, assume that you won't hear back and just celebrate the fact that you tried. Let's see. I am not dwelling on ProTools shitting itself. You are. Man, it's just such a bummer. I'm so annoyed by that. But yeah. One thing is it's the weekend, and Stephen and I were talking about that this morning, is how much of our weekend is typically kind of loaded with, hey, someone's got to mow this fucking lawn and the house has to be swept at least once a week. If you're a longtime listener, you know that we've had something of a lawn war with a couple of the neighbors, and we won. We won the lawn wars. We got a robot. We got a robot mower. We've named him Chit. And Chit has been pissing a lot of people off. And it's amazing. The neighbors to the side of us that kind of fucked up a side of our yard are landscapers, which is so funny because they really fucked up our yard for like no reason. But we know that they're renting. So we actually like reached out to who we know the owner is, being like, hey, why are your tenants fucking with our yard? And they tried to fix it. They made it worse. I'm like, how? Keep your fucking tenants out of my fucking yard. So to add insult to injury for them, they've been having to watch our robot, Chit, mow the lawn better than they are. So that's fun. We also, through our Ring camera, saw this woman like hardcore just standing in our driveway, mad dogging Chit. Like she just had her arms crossed and was just like, But it was really cool. Like I think last weekend or the weekend before, Stephen was like, he was washing my car, which I appreciate, washing my car, and the whole time he's doing that, Chit's just mowing away. Like that's the future I wanted. How hard is that? Come on. But then we also got a vacuum for inside. And the vacuum's name is Pearl. And Pearl, aside from occasionally eating, some charging cables, Pearl's doing great. She gets completely under the couch. I was never going to do that. But yeah, it's been pretty nice to just have those two tasks taken away from you. Speaking of things that piss you off, I guess I was talking about neighbors, maybe. We did hear back from the doctor's office. A little update on that is that there's new management for the doctor's office that's trying to make us pay okay, again, I might have mentioned this before. Steven's bill, which should not have been a bill at all, is like $170 something. And my bill is almost $500. These are both just for checkups. And on my bill, they noted that I was late, which Stephen and I arrived together, and that I asked for all these special tests. I didn't. And that I had to have a more detailed exam. Mine was about 20 minutes shorter than Stephen's. But yeah, the manager that called us, we vibed immediately. she was like talking about how she's having to deal with like this stupid bill that her daughter got, and she's trying to talk it down too. That they completely, she notes that the office is still thoroughly mismanaged by other departments, and that they were given a lot of wrong training in terms of like coding or whatever. It should have just been a wellness visit that my insurance would have been happy to pay for. But my insurance was like, hey, so until they like fix that, we can't do anything. So it's just fix the fucking coding. And I really need y'all to fix the coding now that medical debt is apparently, it used to not affect your credit, but now apparently, Fat Orange guys also decided that we need to make that affect our credit again, medical debt. So that's fun. So yeah, hopefully that'll get fixed. Called to get an update, and said it's slow going, but she just put the request in. So here's hoping. Oh God, here is hoping that it's not fuck awful. No, it isn't fuck awful. Mexican baked goods. Been having probably too many of those, and I don't care. Steven just had his first concha, which they were such a staple of my childhood that I just never thought that people didn't have them growing up. I'm like, aren't you from Texas? But no, he liked them. He also had his first dulce de leche pastry the other day. He liked those too. So yeah, we're vibing with those. So at the end of the day, at least we have Mexican baked goods, and we have Claudia's Bakery, which everybody should try out, and give them all your money. And they also have, if you just walk in, they have just like cups of cake. If you just want some cake for yourself, just go in and you can get a slice of cake, or you can get basically a cup of cake. You just scrape it up with a spoon and vibe. Vibe with your cup of cake. They did not pay me for this endorsement. I guess it's not an endorsement. They didn't pay me to talk really good about them. They're just great there. And I mean, yeah. Things are weird. Things are weird. Trying to have good things like Mexican baked goods and Raphael the Creature things. And I also got, it got me, okay? I got a Labubu. Okay. A tiny little Labubu, not like a purse like Labubu. I'll even deal with like the knockoffs, which I haven't found a fun one yet, but it's happening. And I don't want to hear shit from anybody that's ever had a troll doll, a Furby, a Cabbage Patch, or a fucking Pop. If you've had any of those, or probably something else equally I don't want to hear shit about me having a Labubu. He's very zen, and I've named him Axel. There you go. But yes, there's good stuff, and then there's bad stuff, like, let's be petty, bad stuff. Movies freezing, and ProTools shitting itself, and neighbors not being good landscapers. And then to get more real, medical debt affecting, your credit history. It's fun. It's a fun mixed bag of crap that also has like things that aren't crap in it, but at the end of the day, they're still crap. You don't want any crap with your stuff, do you? Oh my gosh, it might be time. It might be time to say goodbye. I am grateful. I'm grateful for many, many things. I'm grateful for AC that has occasionally been on the fritz because it's just been that fucking hot here. Texas is great. There are no problems whatsoever. I'm grateful for the game Solitaire, which I taught Steven how to play the other day. He'd never played Solitaire. I'm grateful for my friend Kat. We've decided to start a book club. She lives in Hawaii, so it's a great excuse to keep up with her at least once a month. I'm very excited about that. I'm grateful for shoes. I like shoes. I'm grateful for my partner. I'm grateful for my stupid dog. My stupid dog. I'm grateful for Alexander Skarsgård. There's good and bad. I just wish there was less bad. Again, I don't want any crap in a bag. I'd like my bag to be filled with nothing but good things. Like, not crap. How is it already about to be August? I mean, this year, maybe I've already said this, who knows? It's somehow going by too fast and not fast enough. I think if there were more good things, be like, oh, wow, this year just flew by. But I'm already seeing like back to school ads, which is bananas. But I'm also, I don't know if it makes me seem like a Disney villain or whatever. I'm like, yes, go back to school. Mama wants to shop during the week without you guys fucking up my flow. Get out of here. It's weird. I just want it to be cooler. I want Halloween to happen already. Let's do that. How do we make Halloween happen now? I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out and get back to you, I promise. Thank you so much for continuing to listen to Obscure Chatter. Faults and all. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much again for reaching out through email or socials, or if some of you have my number, which is a very rare few of you. I love hearing from you guys, and it makes me want to keep doing the show, even when the show shits on itself mid-show. My God. But if you want to be part of a future episode, remember that you can submit questions or requests through obscurechatter@gmail.com. All submissions will remain anonymous unless you really want me to say your name. Just stress that in the email. I can't promise you that I'll say it correctly. And that's not intentional. That's just negligence on my part. So, before ProTools shits on itself again, let's just say until next time. Until next time, read good shit, watch good shit, listen to good shit, don't be a shit, and call people on their shit. Let's catch up in August, y'all. Bye-bye.